This episode brought to you by MeepleRealty.com, your source for high-quality custom board game inserts. Meeple Realty, think inside the box. Hey everybody, welcome to Board Online, Board Offline. Today I'm bringing you an unboxing of a Kingdom Death Monster expansion called the Flower Knight. Now the Flower Knight is a quarry, meaning that I can hunt it every lantern year when I'm not fighting a nemesis, and I'll gain resources and that sort of thing. The Flower Knight is a pretty interesting expansion in some of the things that it brings to the table. The theme of this expansion is it kind of it looks into the themes of addiction and short-term gain versus long-term loss. And so that whole idea in an expansion for a board game is pretty interesting to me. I'm interested to see what comes in the box. Let's take a look. All right, here we go. So this is what a Kingdom Death expansion comes in. This is the first one I've gotten, so this is all new to me here. Yeah, I mean, it's just a cardboard box basically. Nothing on the back except the UPC code. And so it's the Flower Knight Kingdom Death Monster. You can see down here, designed in New York, made in China, all this kind of stuff. Adam Poots Games, LLC. Cool. Let's get into the box. Oh, here we go. Okay. All right. All right. So all of this packaging is pretty unconventional. All right. Well, okay. Anything else in there? Nothing else in there. All right. So plenty of popcorn. Let's see. What do we? You know what? We'll look at a few. Yeah. Let's look at these first. We'll look at these first. All right, so obviously here we've got the Flower Knight's stats for level 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. So he's going to have 7 basic, 4 advanced cards. Starts out with 11 cards, and he's got 2 specials already in play. And let's see. We've got toughness of 6. And what's his instinct? Germinate. Scattered pollen flows back to the fairy ring. Place the Flower Knight in the center of the showdown board. Remove a +1 luck token from all survivors. I wonder if that means that something in this expansion is going to set survivors up to have more luck tokens, or if it's just kind of let's take them away from them if they have them. Basic action: if there are no threats in the fairy ring, perform Bloom. And Bloom is. Yeah, Bloom's one. We'll take a look at least at these 2 specials. I don't know if I'm going to spoil all of them, but we'll see. We'll look at some of these cards. And then as far as the pick target, its closest threat facing in Fairy Ring. Closest survivor in range, no target, Germinate. And, whoa, speed 3, 2+ accuracy, 0 damage. That's interesting. So there's a lot of unusual stuff going on here. Let's see what else we can figure out. All right, so this is... Oh, you know, that's a secret fighting art. Let's keep that one under wraps. You know, we're gonna go through the deck this way. That way, I can decide if I want to show something or not. Let's take a look at some of these resources. We'll take a look at just a few of them. We've got the Lantern Bloom. It's a flower, hide, perishable. You may consume and archive this during the showdown to gain +3 luck tokens. Here we go. Okay. -1 permanent luck. Oh, interesting. And the Flower Addiction Disorder. Huh. Warbling Bloom. Perishable. You may plant this during the settlement phase to archive it and gain +1 population. The survivor is born with the Flower Addiction Disorder and a face just like the Warbling Bloom. So that's unfortunate. Osseous Bloom. You may consume and archive this during the showdown to remove all your bleeding and negative attribute tokens and gain the Flower Addiction Disorder. Sighing Bloom. You may consume and archive this during the showdown to gain 3 survival, 3 insanity, and the Flower Addiction Disorder. We definitely need to see what the Flower Addiction Disorder is. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so here I'm not going to look at the... that's interesting. A special hunt event. And it's got kind of a similar back to the regular hunt event. I think I'm going to keep all of these secret. I like learning these as they happen. That's a little bit too spoilery for me to be willing to do, even for myself here. All right, hit locations. Let's just look at a couple of these. So we've got the restless roots. Oh, that's his trap right there. I'm not going to read the trap. I want to experience that for myself the first time. Let's look at another one here. Furious. Oh, it's a parry. Wound attempts on this location fail unless the wound result is critical. And then he does the basic action. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before. Parry. We got more parry. Here, let's go a little deeper in the hit location deck here. Delicate knee joint. The armor joint is delicate. -2 toughness to wound this location. And the critical is the Flower Knight's footwork is ruined. All survivors gain 1 survival. If the Flower Knight is outside the fairy ring, it gains -1 speed. All right. Let's look at one more. Armored back. Failure reaction. If attacker is adjacent to the Flower Knight, they suffer bash. Without turning, move the Flower Knight 3 spaces towards the center of the showdown board. All right, so we'll leave the rest of those to discover during the game. Let's see. All right, we got some. All right, a couple more secret fighting arts. I'm gonna again leave those to be discovered if I ever manage to get them. Let's look at. Let's look at one. Oh, what's that? That's okay. Here's a regular fighting art. We'll look at this. Otherworldly luck. During the hunt and settlement phase, whenever you roll on a table, you may add +1 to the roll result. This may not exceed the highest possible result on the table. This includes hunt events, story events, endeavor settlements events, etc. That's a pretty good one right there. That could really help prevent some of the instant death going on. Oh, except it's only during the hunt and settlement phase. Still, though, not bad. I've definitely had plenty of people die during the settlement phase because of bad rolls. Here's flower addiction that we were talking about. This is, of course, a disorder. An insatiable hunger has bloomed in you, delicate and sickeningly sweet. You may only depart to hunt the Flower Knight. After you depart, cure this disorder. That's pretty cool. I like that. Ghostly beauty. You cannot experience fear if you do not exist. Double all insanity you gain. Double all survival you spend. Huh. That's an interesting trade-off. Narcissistic. There is nothing in the world more beautiful than yourself. You may not wear armor at the head location. If you are wearing armor at the head location when you gain this disorder, archive it. All right. So let's see. All right. Well, let's go through. Let's do AI. Let's go this way. Oh, this is AI. Except we got a couple of tactics. Tactics. What are tactics? That's interesting. All right, so let's look at one basic, one advanced, and one legendary here. Bladed kick. If there are no threats to the Fairy King, perform bloom. Pick target, closest threat facing in Fairy Ring, closest threat in Fairy Ring, or no target, germinate. Move and attack. 2 speed, 2+ accuracy, 0 damage, and after damage, target suffers knockback 7 and bleed 1. Ooh, all right, let's go to an advanced one. All right, Wrathful Vine Strike. Perform bloom. We really got to see what this bloom is. Place the Flower Knight in the center of the showdown board. Target all survivors in the Fairy Ring. Move and attack targets. Perform a separate attack against each target. Each attack gains +1 speed for every survivor in the Fairy Ring. So it starts with 2 speed, 2+ accuracy, 0 damage, and then after damage, knockback 7. All right, let's find a legend. He's got some moods in here. Let's find a legendary. Attenuating Weeds. It's a trait. Whenever a survivor enters the Fairy Ring, remove one of their +1 luck tokens. If they have none, they instead gain -1 luck token. All right, so let's figure. There's Bloom. That's what we keep talking about here. Bloom. Target a random survivor outside the Fairy Ring. They suddenly vanish, gain +1 luck token, and are doomed until the end of the monster turn. The target emerges from a flower. Place them standing in the closest free space inside the Fairy Ring. Turn the monster to face the target. That's pretty interesting. I mean, so basically he's able to just bring targets to him if he's in the Fairy Ring. All right, now these are traits. Well, hold on. We got. Oh, I'm sorry, not traits. Tactics. We got 2 tactics here, or 3 tactics. Let's just read one of these. I'm not going to read all of them. Again, I'm trying to keep some of this a surprise. Spiral Formation. Once per showdown, if the survivors are standing in this formation, you may spend 1 survival to make an attack that ignores all monster reactions. And you see that's a formation there. That's pretty interesting. We got Lance Formation and Diversion Tactics. I'm really curious how those get brought in. Okay, now we have 1 innovation. Petal Spiral. Regardless of their hunt XP, survivors may select sword for their weapon proficiency. Regardless of their hunt XP, survivors may select sword for their weapon proficiency. Okay, and then spin endeavor, trace petals, roll 1d10, 1 through 3, lose 1 flower resource. If you do, gain the flower addiction disorder and roll again, otherwise nothing happens. 4 to 5, gain +2 survival and +1 understanding. 6 plus, gain 1 sword proficiency level. And then we've got terrain here, flower patches. So like I said, this is, I don't know if you saw it, terrain, all right? Spend a action. Okay, so this is actually going to be on the showdown board, obviously, because like I said, terrain. All right, spend an act. Pick a flower, archive the terrain tile, and roll 1d10. Add +1 to your roll if you have any sickles in your gear grid. A 1, the flower bursts, overwhelming your senses. You are knocked down and gain 1 bleed token, or anything else. A glorious bloom, gain +1 luck token and 1 random flower resource. All right, so let's see what else we got here. We've got, obviously, all the pieces for the Flower Knight. All right. Trying to see where his head is. Oh, there we go, right here. There you go. That's what this guy looks like. Okay. Here's his gear that he comes with. All right, so we've got the sleeping virus flower. Well, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Oh, you know what? I'm actually, for the rare gear, well, let's look at that one that I started to look at, but other than that, I'm going to keep it kind of spoiler free. Sleeping virus flower item, flammable, +1 luck, cursed. When you die, flower blooms from your corpse. Add. Okay, this must be an event that comes with this particular expansion. Add a warm virus to the timeline next year. You are the guest. Okay, and then let's look at some of this regular gear. The Vespertine foil weapon, melee, sword, fragile. It's got 4 speed, 5+ accuracy, and 1 strength. At the beginning of each settlement phase, archive this unless you spend 1 flower resource. Interesting. Vespertine bow, weapon, ranged bow, 2-handed other. Ranged 5, deadly. Before each attack, you may choose for Vespertine bow to have slow, +4 accuracy, and range 9 for that attack. Satchel item, heavy, stinky. You may depart with 1 resource card. If that resource is perishable, it is not destroyed. And the Vespertine arrow, item, ammunition, arrow, ammo, bow, deadly 4. Archive, a deadly 4. Wow. Archive after use. If your attack misses, place a flower patch terrain tile adjacent to the monster. And Vespertine cello. Item, instrument, noisy, other. At the start of the showdown, it's unique. At the start of a showdown, all survivors with an instrument in their gear grid gain +1 luck token. And the Flower Knight badge. Item, jewelry, badge, unique. At the start of the showdown, draw 1 tactics card and gain +1 evasion token. Yep. All right, and finally the stuff down here. Oh, knocking stuff over. All right, so we've got, oh, looks like we're going to build this, I guess. Maybe that's what was it, the fairy circle or fairy ring or whatever that I kept talking about? It looks like you can build a circle with that and I assume place it on the board, obviously, right? And here's, oh, these are just the dividers for the box. And then here we've got Flower Knight, upgrade your core game. Here are all the instructions involving the Flower Knight. A pretty cool picture right there. It's got a custom campaign. I didn't realize that. New rules. Oh, and see here it shows you exactly how to add all this to your core game. Explains parry, perishable resources, perishable monster level symbol. What else do we have? See, there's the fairy ring right there, built together. All right, hunt board starting space. Here's all about tactics right there. And here's a story about the Flower Knight, which when I film, I'm definitely going to film a fight with him, so I'll be sure to give you the full story there when we do that. Showdown the Flower Knight, and you can see there it's the green's the fairy ring, and the blue is where the survivors start. And let's see what that 1, 2, and 3 there is, because that's what they was talking about right up here. The Flower Knight level determines the survivor's starting space, I see, on the hunt board. When the Flower Knight is chosen as the quarry, the survivors start at the space where the icon matching the level of the Flower Knight being hunted. So go back here. Whoop. Oh, we got some actual, oh, that's neat. Okay, so this is the monster event, but then you've got these other possible events that could happen back here too, with stuff to roll and everything. I'm not going to look at those. So it looks like select an encounter level on the hunt board. When survivors land on the overwhelming darkness space, they instead resolve the forest wants what it wants. And then after that was where all the Flower Knight events occur. That's pretty interesting. So up until then, everything is a random hunt event, I guess. We'll read all this in detail later. But look at that. That's pretty crazy. But I think that's pretty much it, because everything else in here is a story. So that's it. That's everything that comes with the Flower Knight expansion. Okay, so there you go. That is the Flower Knight expansion. I'm really excited to get my first shot at this guy. If I do it in my solo campaign, I'll be sure to share it with y'all as when I first encounter him. I've also got a separate campaign going at one of my game groups, and the Flower Knight is going to be used in that campaign, so we'll see whether or not I get to him first, or if we get to it in that campaign. Either way, you'll be getting a gameplay video of it at some point in the near future. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can buy my t-shirts over at geekygoodies.com. I have a Pod Pledge page, not Plod Ped page. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you like my channel, subscribe. And until next time, if you're bored online, board offline.